My focus of this particular presentation is really marketing made simple. What are the key components? What do you need to focus on? And really my advice is ignore the rest, because there's just too much information out there, and I think people make it much more complicated than it is. And my mission here is to make it very simple, very easy to understand. I introduced myself, and of course, as a coach, my mission is to take people along, and as I learn things, to pass things on and help people and invigorate people and get people on board and moving as fast as possible. Just to kind of put what I do in perspective, my businesses revolve around different aspects, and the only reason I do that is not to act smart, but to show that what I do applies to different industries, different types of businesses. And of course, I come from the hospitality industry, so between them all, I am doing everything online, and it is proof that my marketing simple process and strategy works for everything. The big challenge we have now is, of course, what is happening with the internet. It has exploded. It has grown, and it's bigger than ever. And as it grows, and especially at this time, with many people with not enough to do, the tactics and the ideas and the principles and the strategies have tripled, and it's more and more confusing to know what to do. Just as the channels have changed. I did a training a couple of weeks ago about social media channels and had to smarten up on TikTok, which is the new kid on the block. So making a choice of where to go is just as difficult. And then, of course, our generations have thrown it upside down, and particularly now, where we had the older generation that wasn't so tech savvy, they're now 100% on board, but looking for different reassurances to Generation Z and the millennials. So all that behavior has changed. And of course, the recession, some people are flying, some people are struggling, and we've got to meet our customers with offers and with deals that take account of all this, plus the fact that behaviors have changed enormously during the pandemic. So just to give a highlight that I will be talking next month on GBF about these behaviors and how they need to be considered in the way we market these days, because it has changed incredibly. 5 pillars, the essential pillars of a marketing strategy is why you're doing it, who you are doing it for, when is the right time, and where you should go. And then, of course, on top, you do the how. So I'm going to work through those very quickly today, just to create and paint a broad picture so that whoever is watching this can work out where their gaps are, where they need to focus, where they need to improve knowledge, or maybe get somebody to help them to get this whole cycle going, because it is a cycle. Everything reinforms it again. Starting with your why, I urge you to go and look at Simon Sinek, just Google him or look on YouTube. He's got some great videos about understanding why. Because as he says, most businesses know what they do and what they sell, but not many know exactly how it happens. But certainly even fewer know why. Why are they doing it? What is the purpose of what they do? What is the impact of what they deliver? So it's a very important part of underpinning everything. If you do not know the transformation you deliver, how you help, who you help, why you help, then the rest of the business is fluffy. The other part of why is your marketing objectives. So I have mentioned before that I do a monthly content calendar where I've done all the strategic thinking, I've done all the planning, I've put all these marketing objectives into that content calendar. So every day there's a different reason for doing stuff. And these are the various reasons I've mixed up in there. Some of them are very obvious marketing objectives, But some of them, when we get down here, is to learn from your ideal customers. So you ask random questions. People often think random questions is rubbish. So for a stupid example, do you like tea or coffee? That sounds very random. But if the most of your audience comes back and says they love coffee, you know that coffee is engaging content. So talking about coffee as an opener when you have a live meeting connects with your customer. They'll suddenly say, "Ooh, which coffee are you drinking? How do you like your coffee?" It's a great conversation starter, just as an image of coffee and an inspirational message in the morning is going to be better than a cup of tea if your audience likes coffee. So these random things in social media have a reason for being there. And so learning is important, learning what interests them, what gets their attention, testing your content, your previous posts, your lead magnets, the tips you've provided. Did they work? Didn't they work? Testing different parts of that. And of course, testing copywriting. There's things called power words, where you start a sentence with a power word or ask a question or whatever. But the important part when we're talking lead generation and making your business grow, marketing objectives would go broadly along these three as you take people down your sales funnel. So take finding prospects. Once they come into your sales funnel, suspects to fans, and then on to make them customers. And your strategy through this whole process changes. So from putting content out there that attracts attention to content that keeps their interest and makes them go from I like it to I want it, i.e. building desire, or to give people a reason to click, to go and look at another link, to click through to your website, or to claim a sample, or to subscribe, or to download something. Those are great ways of training your customers to click so that when you go to sell them something, they are already paying attention and they know and trust you enough to click through and go and look what's on the other side. Next, what? When we have our products or services to sell, too many businesses focus on the huge list of features of what they sell. So we sell a course, and the course is 8 modules, and each module is 20 minutes, and each module has a video and a worksheet. They don't actually care, right? What they care about right up front is the transformation. What is the benefit? What is in it for them? What is the reason why? Which is what we call the benefit sells and the feature tells. So once you've got their attention with the benefit that this is solving a problem they want solved, they then go and look at features. Too many business lead with features. So a very important point there for revisiting the way you present your content. So we are all too familiar with, I want to make a hole, I don't necessarily go and look for a drill. That gets down to you researching what solutions your ideal customer are looking for. Important about the solution you deliver is understanding what their pain is and what transformation they are looking for. And transformations are often these power words. So I spoke about using power words in your content earlier. These are great power words to use when you create an email in the subject line or in a post, or when you're creating a sales page to get people to convert. People generally buy these things, a system, a shortcut. So it's a time saver, that kind of thing. So play with these power words to try and get your messaging more powerful. Great place to look for what's going on, what your customers want, what they're looking for, what they hate, what they love, is to go and look at your competitors. Note I said what your customers want. So I'm not putting the ball in the court of looking at the competitors. It's about how your customers, your ideal customers, are responding to your competitors. And the best place to look is what they are buying and what they are saying in their reviews. Are they delighted or are they complaining? What are they complaining about? That's your gap. Okay, so who your ideal customer is critical to changing everything about your marketing. Once you know your ideal customer better than everybody, your offering changes, your strategy changes, the way you define the value of what you deliver changes, your pricing with the COVID behaviors, how people are now perceiving pricing in terms of what their challenges are and what they are doing in their everyday life. It is very interesting how you can revisit your pricing in order to appeal to your ideal customer. Of course, the tone of voice. Tone of voice also matters with which platform you're communicating on, what your brand voice is, all those things, and then who you work with and everything else. Influencer marketing, the people you collaborate with, if they are talking to the same customer, there's huge value in that. So, for example, I just want to reiterate, Julie and I talk to the same customers, so our collaboration, therefore, is really valuable. We are not competitive, but we support each other and can support our clients together. The most important thing right now, and more than ever because of the pandemic, is there's no more spray and pray. You have to niche down to an ideal customer. I was doing a training this week talking to people about doing their campaign planning and plan campaigns. Started with the question of who's your ideal customer. They're doing a trade show and they said people to come to our trade show. So my first question was, are we talking exhibitors or are we talking visitors? Oh, both. So I said, well, those are two completely different segments because they want completely different things. So it means then that one is an ideal customer that you talk to in one way, the other is an ideal customer you talk to in another way. And you cannot put the same content in front of both because one of them will be left short and confused. So focusing on your niche customer, use the ideal customer questionnaire I've got. It really is a super one-page document that helps you niche down. The most important things that cheat sheet deals with are finding answers to these questions. And why? Because these are the kind of things you can target when you set up an online ad. If you know what magazine people read, you can go into Facebook and target that as an interest and then put your ad in front of the ideal audience. So these are not just asked for fun. They're very important criteria for helping you get better results because you're targeting better. Right, where? So when we talk about where, and more than ever, I keep harping on the pandemic because I really have been studying this deep, is going to where your customer is, and more than ever, of course, they're online. So I'm afraid you have to get used to this online thing. You have to embrace this online thing, get online, because studies are showing that the millennials and Generation Z are not going back offline. They are delighted by the fact that everybody is coming to them. And the more you embrace online and connect online, and by the way, those are the customers of today and tomorrow. We can no longer just rely on our existing customers. We have to be paying attention to where tomorrow's customers are hanging out. Social media, I want to make the point that there are different rooms for different conversations, and therefore different markets hang out in the different rooms. So for example, Snapchat and TikTok we could put together. The youngsters socializing, talking with their mates, sharing stuff. Pinterest, decor, appealing to women. LinkedIn, business, study, workspace, working from home. Twitter, quick results, breaking news. Facebook, lifestyle, along with Instagram. Facebook is more about copy and image. Instagram, totally visually driven. So the things about social media and adopting which social media to go to is knowing where your customers are. You cannot, and I see far too many people saying, which platform are you finding most successful and which platform should I be on? So in choosing the social media platform to be on, you have to go where your customers are. And of course, start with what content you can produce that is right for the platform. Because if you cannot do video, you can't market on YouTube. It's that simple. You need to combine your capability with where your ideal customer is. One of the things I want to reiterate to you, groups is incredible for building an audience of like-minded people. Facebook is pushing content into groups. It is becoming a great way for communities to talk to each other, to support each other. Because Facebook is about building communities and people interacting with friends and family, Facebook algorithm assumes because people have joined a group, they want to be there and therefore want to see the content. So it's not like a normal newsfeed where you might miss the content. It's pushed into newsfeed. So it's a great and very important way to build a community going forward. And from there, so you take them from Facebook to a group, and from a group to your mail list. Let's go to when. There are a couple of components to the when part of a marketing strategy. Most importantly, the customer has a journey that he is on when he just buys from you, starting with, he doesn't even know he's got a problem. He's dreaming about a better life, but doesn't really know what that means. 2, researching you, your product, the best solution, on to buying, which is where you have to give him the best deal, make it simple, take the friction away from the transaction. Online, more now than ever, in this research that I did, people are wanting to sign up, to contract, to sign documents, everything online, no more one-to-one. So people who are providing services like insurance, financial advice, medical aid, online forms are the way to go, and signing online is the way people will transact. Then, of course, experiencing, too many people drop the ball here because we think once the customer's in the bag, that's done. But because of online and sharing, the experiencing is how you will either create an advocate forever or send somebody to the competitors, because the experience is about building loyalty, making them stick around forever, sharing their experience and revitalizing the journey for others. This part, sharing and experiencing and sharing, accounts for 95% of the influence of new customers. People are turning to online recommendation. So if you can get these people to shout about you, you are going to find new customers very naturally, without ads, without hard selling, etc. People come to you to make contact and ask for more. The next part about the right time is, are people ready to buy or not? This is one of the biggest failings of social media marketing, where people are promoting and going, my social media is rubbish, my ads aren't working, it's Facebook's fault, it's LinkedIn's fault, etc. What is actually happening is that your customer is not ready to buy. They are still in that researching phase, still qualifying you. Now, the researching phase has got a whole component to it, because firstly, people know they want to feel better, but don't really know what's wrong. That's the hardest market to communicate with. You will reach them with high quality, beautiful content, videos, stories, things that they find accidentally, and suddenly go, oh, that's interesting. Where you can start talking into people with meaning is when they are aware of a problem, where you can now start saying, are you struggling with? Does it feel like this? Do you wish? Then you start connecting with people. You start then gently urging them on to make them interested, to want to know more. Then you're going into your solution with what? The benefits of what you deliver. So now we're saying how we can help. Once they are aware of that and now become product aware, the last thing they want is features. Now they want to know the details of the deal. You get out the way, you give them the details and make it simple to take the next step. So is it a trial? Is it a consultation? Is it a freebie? Is there a frequently asked question you need to post about? And finally, when they are ready to give you their credit card, make sure everything is frictionless. I urge you to go and test processes. Change your telephone number for a cell number that is answered if necessary. Enable WhatsApp messaging, enable Facebook messaging, because if people can't find you with an urgent pressing problem, they will go to the next person on their contact list or the next competitor. You don't easily get a second bite at this carrot. The final thing on the when, the right time, is posting content for your audience when they're ready to read the stuff or view the stuff. So first thing in the morning, somebody is not going to read a 2,000-word blog. They might read it on a Sunday night when they're relaxing and curled up on the couch. People commuting to work are not going to watch a video, but they might at lunchtime or when they reach for a cup of coffee. Very important to think about what you're posting, your audiences every day, what they are doing, and whether they're ready to consume what you are giving them. In addition to that, remember time zones. If you are appealing to people in different time zones, post accordingly. You are truly global, post for our nighttime and our daytime so that your international audience can see your stuff when they are awake. Right. Finally, how? The reason we struggle with content marketing is because we have forgotten about why. We are in business because our customers are looking for the solutions we provide, not for an item. Ask them how you can help and phrase your offer in that way. So the buyer's journey is nothing more than questions that must be answered. Are you helping them buy, making it simple, giving guarantees, telling them how, giving them more videos, showing them other ways to use your services, showing them other benefits, reasons to use it, or upsell, cross-sell other products? The appropriate messaging, and I think you should take a screenshot of this slide, because when you plan your strategy, the marketing objectives, this is the type of content you should be putting out there. For awareness, you need to be where they are. If you're trying to get their interest, be relevant to their problem, to their lives, to their interests, because it's about them. When you want them to make a decision, be proven. Case studies, testimonials, show results, screenshots of statistics. Trial. Now they're ready to buy, be helpful. Make it simple for them to just take the next step, even if it's an opt-in to an email address or a download of a cheat sheet. Adoption, be attentive, pay attention, great customer service, quick customer service. And finally, for loyalty, be consistent, don't disappoint. If you are consistent, you're authentic, you're real, even if you make a mistake, people can forgive you because you didn't pretend to be anything else. Everybody makes mistakes. Back to our marketing funnel, our sales funnel, objectives. Who are you doing this for? What are you selling them? And here are tips of how to reach people with the right content at the right stage of your sales funnel. So you see, it's actually not very complicated. Search, find your website, social media, in the middle, email marketing, subscribing to your list. At the bottom, irresistible offers, easy way to buy. It's as simple as that. A strategy does not have to be complicated. You just need every step of the campaign planned and executed. My one point I want to make is none of it is standalone. Integrated marketing is the way to succeed. If social media is failing for you, it's because it's standing alone. If sales is failing for you, it's because it's standing alone. This all has to work together. Online, offline, paid, organic, i.e. free. Every single bit of content has to tie together. The right type of content, so varying between live videos so people can meet you, people can talk to you. Video is the most consumed content on the planet. Animation, so when your content on your social media platforms move, it gets attention. That is why it's successful, because it looks different to everything else people are scrolling through. Stories on Facebook and Instagram are critical. That is so valuable for getting new businesses found. Images, of course, we don't read anymore. Visual, visual, visual. And then when you do text, think about your copywriting, power words, which challenges you are addressing. And finally, you have to have your owned property, which is your website. You cannot rely on rented real estate, i.e. social media alone. Email marketing, email list, subscribers, and your website are your most valuable marketing assets. Those things are worth a fortune. You cannot rely on an audience on Facebook if there's a chance Facebook could shut down your page tomorrow. That's why I said taking people from Facebook to a group, to a subscribers list is the way to do your marketing. Then you start sending emails that add value, and slowly with value, build the relationship until those people have got enough information to want to buy. In summary, think about this in order to be successful. The right person, your ideal customer, the right content in the right place, at the right time, in the right format, in the right language. So are you talking a millennial with emojis, or are you talking formal business talk, geek speak on LinkedIn to an absolutely defined hot lead? And then, of course, on the right device. Are people on a mobile device? Are they on a computer? Are they on a tablet? And means you've got to produce your content slightly differently. We have dealt with why, what, who, where, and when. In a nutshell, a foundation for your marketing strategy. I focus very much on integrated marketing, not social media alone. I provide a content calendar which informs daily posts on social media. But that content calendar says, post a link to your website, post a link to an opt-in form, deliver a lead magnet so people can sign up, so that it actually implements a whole strategy for marketing. Thank you for joining me. How can I help?